My name is Douglas Hornberger. I call myself the Defiant Douglas Fir. And I like to have a heart-to-heart talk with everybody from Calgary and everybody from Southern Alberta. In Bragg Creek, we have a serious problem. It may be the epicenter of a large, catastrophic fire event. We, in this forest between Calgary and Bragg Creek, are facing an imminent fire. We need to go into our forests and we need to brush and weed and thin and space and deadwood these forests. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is manually, which the undertaking of something like that is going to be enormous. I've been working on this for a long time. I'm an arborist, so I get paid quite well. By getting paid quite well, I was able to finance a lot of projects in regards to this issue that I'm talking about, where other people wouldn't have never been able to step foot at or face. So I've been lucky. But my discovery is not so lucky. Well, it is lucky because I discovered it. But we have a major event coming, so big that we may have to evacuate Calgary. I'm announcing it. We may have to evacuate Calgary. Now, you remember the flood? I was here doing arborist work in Calgary during the flood. We were in Drumheller, and then we moved our crew to Calgary during that flood. So I know Calgary in a disaster. I was also here for the hail while I was cooking down at the Cowboy Roast House during the hailstorm. That was a $1 billion deal. Fire is coming. So here we sit, making a decision of whether we're gonna move forward and do something, or whether we're just gonna let nature take its course and face this imminent danger. So here is the disaster plan. We need to get people into these forests. We need to get people trained up on chainsaw, trained up on moving brush around. All the PPE and safety issues all have to be addressed through OH&S, through workers' comp, through just general consensus of safety. That is paramount. Here at Woodsman Training, we do all that. And we have a vast area to build this massive fire camp where we train, then we move to where we're doing our prevention. Whether it's in Jumping Pound Creek, whether it's in Sibbald Flats, or Canmore, or Banff, or Lake Louise, or just this surrounding area right here. So we need to start recruiting people. People need to come. Personally, I would like to see more favorably in shape and fit people at the beginning, and then kind of crap rolls downhill from there, so that we can get the best of the best to start things off. We need to get people here. We need funding. Our governments need to get on board. Our environmental groups need to get on board. Our recreationalists need to get on board. We need to get here. Let me put your resources where they need to go. I've surmised this entire and viewed this entire project. I know what to do. I know where to go. I know where to put everybody. And the biggest thing is I know what to take out. I know what to move around so that we can take this 100-foot fire that has a 100-kilometer wind and turn it into a little 5-foot fire that just mops up the forest floor and doesn't decimate all these trees. You guys, this is a big deal, because if we could save these forests doing this project, we're actually reversing the effect of catastrophic wildfire, where we're saving that we're not having to wait for these trees to grow back because they were all decimated in this fire. We're saving these trees. So if you ever wanted to do something for your environment and get out of this COVID craziness, because I have vast lands to quarantine everybody, and I have a designed closed loop isolation system. So once you enter into this system, COVID will become less and less likely, because you'll be going through this loop and coming out and never going back. So the infections will be eliminated. So if you want to get away from this pandemic and you have nothing else to go do, jump aboard. Let's get on this ship and start sailing in the right direction. The plan, the disaster plan, is you bring what you can, I'll utilize it where it needs to go, and then we can push forward on reducing these fuels in these forests and in these places that need it. This is going to be the greatest. We missed Calgary Stampede, so you missed out on that experience. This is an adventure that will be remembered for the rest of your life. How we did this, set the example of what we should be doing in our forests, so that later we can decide and determine what we can do in other forests. The only way we can slay this dragon is by overwhelming force. We need to get in here and get it done. And if we don't get it done, next year you're going to be facing an evacuation in your city of 1.3 million people, and the rest of southern Alberta will all be overrun by all those people. So it's not just a vested interest of Calgarians, it's a vested interest of all of southern Alberta to not have this evacuation take place, because we did the preventive measures that we needed to do to thwart the attack of this catastrophic wildfire. Open up Google or Google Earth. Go to the satellite image and open it up and see the head of the dragon. His name is Cthulhu. I call him that not because he's some dragon, but because it's a big tract of land, and I'm trying to identify the enemy by naming that enemy and knowing that we move forward in this direction against Cthulhu. I know it sounds crazy. It's almost like Lord of the Rings crap. But you look at Banff and Canmore and the beautifulness of all of these areas, and that we can actually physically, consciously do prevention against losing all those forests. I found the dragon. It's winter time. It's time to fight. And it's time to fight now.